What's up, everybody? This is your girl Nicole Hoops Alexander, and here is What's Blazing in Sports.
Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy T-Dub, What's Blazing in Sports. Guys, listen, we are here, we are live, we are back at it like a crack at it, giving you boxing geekers this work, guys. And I tell you, man, this whole situation between Spence and Errol, between Spence and Crawford, and now BLK Prime and PBC and Al Heyman, you talking about, me personally, this is like jaw dropping. The way that all this played out, which was still playing out, right? It literally came out of left field for me. Now, there's some leaked audio from either Errol Spence or the person who he was speaking with. Or it has to be, right? It has to be either Errol recorded his end, because it's only a one-way, pretty much, voice all you hear. Or the other person on the other end recorded his conversation. That's it, right? But you talking about having so much unfold. It is crazy. And the fans are split down the middle. People going with Errol Spence, saying that, hey, he was there. He wanted to make the fight. He didn't have a backup plan. You know, Errol, he was inducting as all Terence Crawford. Then you got Terence Crawford fans said, man, PBC, Al Heyman, they playing games with the money. They playing games with the money. How they got money for this guy, but they ain't got money for this guy. Terence Crawford deserves to know everything. Open up everything to him, and they weren't doing it. They were stalling time, so he has the right to move on and fight whoever he wants. And no matter which way you fall down that line, Houston, we have a problem here. The fans don't win. The fans are the ones that are at each other's throat, right? You got Terence Crawford fans mobbing Errol Spence Jr. Channels, Errol Spence Jr. fans mobbing Terence Crawford supporters, and it's just a lot of words and a lot of blocking. But you guys know me, right? I never really lean personally towards either one of these guys' side. I say I like them both equal, as much as I can. If it came down to the actual fight, I have predicted from the beginning all the way up until these negotiations, I say I got a tight fight. Terence Crawford 51% chance of winning. That means that a swing can change it, right? But if I have to twist my arm, ow, I got to go with Terence Crawford. But I did, right? But now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Who's to blame? Who's more to blame? Somebody's to blame. If these guys was on the same team and they plotted this, which I don't believe, then I could blame both of them equally. But if I am to look at this on the surface, because remember, guys, sometimes you gotta get beneath that surface, right? Who do you blame? Go with Crawford? Go with Spence? Do you go with the powers that may be in the networks? Al Heyman. I have never seen any promoter outside of Don King get as much hate, public disrespect, public blame than Al Heyman. And this guy's probably said less words than a mute. He ain't even speaking. But he gets the credit. He gets hated, right? Who do you blame? And I'm going to get to the audio. Don't worry about that. I'm going to get to the audio. You guys know it, man. Listen, when I can go live, when there's a work from home for a day and I get a break, I don't break. I work. When I get a break, I don't break. I work. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share this, Karen. I am back at it like a crack at it, giving you Boston Geekers this work. Support the grind. Now, let's get back to this blaming thing, right? Normally I talk to Bob about everything, but this is one subject I don't know why me and Bob hasn't talked about it. Me and Bob talk about everything. We debate everything. Damn near disagree on a lot of things. We need to get a chance to talk about this. I don't know where Bob stands on this one. But let me let you know where I stand on my own two size 12 shoes. On the surface, it looks to me that Errol Spence Jr. was more into making this fight, more committed through the long haul, because it's been a very long negotiation, right? Of still wanting to make this fight next. But when I look at Terence Crawford's side, since they are the ones that pulled out, they are the ones that signed with a new promotional company. And it seemed like you have to, if you have to give a breakdown. Okay. I got a work email came up. Since we gotta give a breakdown on, it has to be somebody's fault. There ain't no equalness to it. There has to be somebody, right? You gotta blame somebody. Because the fight's not happening. Fight was rumored to happen in November, right? That came, well, that's coming. We know that's going to go. Then some people talked about December. Then they talked about it may be in 2023. Then they started talking about what Terence Crawford was offered. They offered him no money up front, no guarantee, 35% split, no back end money. I ain't never heard anything like that in my life. And I doubt anybody that's fighting for Undisputed has heard anything like that in their life. The only birds I know that probably may have got disrespected close to that level was when Deontay Wilder offered Joshua $50 million up front plus back end, and then Eddie Hearn turned around and offered Wilder, like, I tell you this, mate, I offer you $12 million flat. That's it. And Joshua says, I would have took that deal to the moon and back. I thought they were disrespectful. Even the $15 million flat that Wilder took, I thought was disrespectful. Well, he did accept, but sanction body came in. The moment he accepted, ordered Joshua to defend. I haven't really seen too many times that the sanctioning body would literally step in after somebody says, I accept, I just want to earn out this one thing, and say, up, let's stand in the way of Undisputed. Let's be it. Then it came out that they offered him $5 million up front. Then it came out that it was a total of $15 million. Something up front, something back in. The fact is, we don't know, right? Somebody putting out lies because they all cannot be true. Somebody has to be lying, right? Especially the person that says no upfront money, no back end money, 35% flat, 35% split of what? He's getting nothing up front, nothing in the back end. What's this middle cushion we don't know about? But just talking about the negotiations on who is more to blame for this fight not happening next, for the fans to be losing out. In my opinion, it has to be Terence Crawford. It has to be Terence Crawford. He had a backup plan. He signed with a new promotional company. He already has a fight set for in December 10th. Earl does not have a fight. Every sanctioned body is think about that, guy. Look what they listen. Terence Crawford get to go on and fight somebody that nobody want to see. The only people want to see it is people that are directly involved that can profit from it. That is it. Nobody else says, give me that Crawford and David fight. Hallelujah. I want that fight next. Nobody's asked for this fight. Nobody even thought of this fight. Nobody even accidentally dreamt of this fight. They didn't even stumble upon this fight. Nobody wanted it. And they still don't want it. But it's going to happen. Now, guys, with Errol Spence Jr., since he's not fighting Terence Crawford going to fight little known David, and not the one from Goliath. Errol Spence Jr. has now they came out and says that, he got to fight Boots Ennis next. Boots is mandatory, and he is submitting that he wants to fight him next. If he don't fight Boots Ennis, Errol Spence is ducking. He ducking. Now, who was the other one for the WBA? I can't think of his name. You know what I'm talking about. Now he's coming out. Now he is supposed to trump Ennis. He ducking. If you don't fight these guys. He ducking if you move up to 154, and he ducking if you don't fight these guys. Now, like a pack of lions that's trying to feast, in walks this big male lion, WBC. Now they coming in like Thurman is next. Anybody got something to say? Anybody got something to say? Thurman's next. So Errol Spence Jr. is being pushed. What's up, Brenan Smith? Errol Spence Jr. is being pushed to fight Keith Thurman, Boots Ennis, and I cannot think of this other guy. Nine, gosh. Can't think of his name right. You know what I'm talking about, though. So Earl is getting real competition push. That people are a real threat. Or he said, you know what, man? I'm not finna run this. I'm not finna fight mandatory after mandatory after mandatory. While Terence, parade on and does whatever he wants. He already stated he don't need me. Forget it. I'm not finna do it. I'm not finna keep trying to make this weight. I'm gonna move to 154 and go there. But now he's getting knocked from that. What are you going to 154 for? You can't fight Jamel Charlo. What are you going there for? You might well stay here and fight these people we want you to fight. I can definitely say with confidence that I don't believe Earl is responsible for the Terence Crawford not fighting. He has the hardest thing. They're really mandating stuff for him. But they're not mandating Crawford. Why they're not mandating Crawford? Because Crawford just fought Porter. So he has pretty much a free fight. Now, he could have chose to fight one of these other guys. But he didn't. Now, there's a new kid in town and I know very little about this kid. They go by BLK Prime. I know very little about him. Do you blame them? Do you blame them for messing with the Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. fight? Do you? You want to know my thoughts? Well, here you go. No! And here's why. If this is a company that is looking to get into boxing, they're already doing streaming, now they want to grow in boxing. If this is a company, you got to go for opportunities, right? If the opportunity presents itself, then you have to go for it. If they see that, oh, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence is not signed yet, oh man, and here we come. And if they can say the right words, they can make Terence Crawford stop the negotiation or make it more difficult and then walk away and sign with them, then you can't really knock the company. Because let's say T-Dub, right? Let's say I want to do Whatsblazing promotions, right? Whatsblazing the sports promotion. And I'm like, man, I just need to get some real good fighters, you know, because I'm going to invest a lot. And all of a sudden, I see Canelo Alvarez, who's not signed with anybody, and he's in talks with Jamal Charlo, but it's been like 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Nothing's happened. And I'm like, shit, let me see if I can put a bird in Canelo's ear, you know, because in my opinion, as long as they are not going to prevent the fight once they sign him, because this could have went a lot of ways. One way it could have went is BLK. They have the right to sign Terence, and they could have picked up right when negotiation was breaking off with Terence and Spence, and continued. But since they probably like, well, we don't want to lose our biggest cash cow right away, let's get him a fight with this Evanesian guy, and he can win there. Now, if the next fight, there's so many ifs. If Errol Spence goes up to 154, the fight's never happening. It's never happening. Because at that point, Errol Spence Jr. should look at Terence Crawford worse than he looks at Keith Thurman. Worse. Because they were actually in negotiations. This fight is bigger than what you and Keith would have been done back then. This was for Undisputed. Matter of fact, I'm going to play what Errol Spence said. I'm going to come back. Let's do that. Hold on. Let me make sure you guys can hear it. I hope you can. Let me do this. Let's go with this one. Ooh, that might be too loud. Let me see. All right.
Not much tonight. Cooling. Just came back from
Errol Spence.
from Disneyland a year ago for my kid's birthday. Not much tonight. Cooling. Just came back from Disneyland a year ago for my kid's birthday.
I apologize for the audio, guys.
Oh, yeah, I get you. Yeah. What are you talking about? He just said, you know, I guess
Bad audio.
Crawford don't really understand what's going on.
What's up, Justin?
And I guess he don't really trust his attorney, so he want to talk to Al personally.
Can you guys make out the audio? Because I know it's hard for me. And if you can, I will try to listen and then interpret and spit back at you. I'm going to go back about 5 seconds where it sounded like Errol Spence said that Terence didn't trust his lawyer and he wanted to talk directly to Al Heyman. Let's see.
Really trust his attorney, so he want to talk to Al personally.
He said his attorney, talking about Terence Crawford, wanted to talk to Al Heyman personally.
Ask questions about what's going on and this and that.
Ask questions about what's going on.
So, I don't know what he said. He should be getting it wrapped up shortly. So, yeah, no, man, I'll be getting killed on media.
Ooh, this audio. Woo! Maybe I'll switch ears. Another day in paradise. You got it, champ.
Yeah. everybody talking about I wouldn't go. So I'm like, I ain't got time for it. Like, I know what's going on. I mean, I'm thinking hopefully we can do it in January.
So right now, Errol Spence Jr. said that, pretty much he acknowledging that the fight's not going to happen in November. And he's thinking that they can still do the fight in January. Now, there are people out there that have heard this and now saying that, oh man, the fight, it could happen in January. How come Terence Crawford just couldn't hold out? I mean, it's December the 10th and then January the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. Well, according to what Errol Spence Jr. said he hopes that the fight can be still done in January. We don't know what the powers that be really are aiming for. So we have no idea. That's a target date for Errol Spence. But that has to make sense to the network and to Al Heyman on the actual date. So to be honest, there was no date. There's only hope at this point. And Earl, like you said, hoping they can do it in January. And at that point, do you blame or do you not blame Terence for saying, listen, this is BS. I haven't fought in this long time. There is no date. There's no date. I need to at least get some kind of fight in. I'm going to sign with this new company who possibly is similar or coming in similar like the Zone, paying out the anal, right? They could be, listen, this new company got Adrian Broner back. They said, Adrian, come here. Knock that dust off of him. Here's $12 million for 3 fights. Something like that. Or if it's 12 for 3 or 12 for 1, I don't remember. I believe they are paying Terence Crawford at least $10 million just for this fight. So imagine, this is a fight that no one wants to see. Nobody asked for. But Terence Crawford is going to make the fight. Honestly, I think the pay-per-view being $39.99, $79.99, or $19.99, I don't think there'd be that much difference in the actual sales. I mean, unless you put it at $5.99, something like the ESPN Plus app, then it might do a little bit more. But for a fight that I don't know if I can predict that'll do great numbers, they are paying Terence Crawford his biggest payday. So if you Terence, can you say no to your biggest payday? Again, there's reasons for everybody doing everything. But when it comes down to who do I have to say more to blame go to for Earl and Terence Crawford not happening? It got to go to Terence. But can I knock his reasoning for getting the biggest payday for this is the direct definition of what is it? The biggest bang for your buck, right? You're getting the most amount of money for the least amount of risk on paper. Real Talk says, man, I set the alert and not only did it not alert me, when I remembered it told me you never started and suggested another link to watch. I had to switch. I had to search you to find out you still in progress. Bro, hey, I told you guys that YouTube has me shadow banned. I'm shadow banned, guys. That's why it is more important than ever to smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Right? If you got other boxing buddies, tell them. Because they're going to make it. It's like they are taking a plant and putting it only under moonlight. And saying grow. Like the rest of the plants, they get sunlight. Just ain't going to happen. So I need you guys to be that shining light for me. Help the channel grow. Become part of the channel. Subscribe to it. Become a member to it. Become part of the Blaze. The reason why the Blaze keeps growing. So let's jump right back into this audio from Errol Spence Jr. Direct audio. Remember, he already said that Terence Crawford basically, in so many words, didn't trust his own lawyer. So he wanted to talk directly to Al Heyman. Errol Spence Jr. is pretty much acknowledging that the fight is not going to happen in November. It does not sound, at this point in this conversation, or anyone through this conversation that Errol Spence Jr. at this point in time was aware that Terence Crawford had a different option. He is still looking, as he just said, he is looking forward to trying to make this fight happen next, and he thinks the fight could happen in January, right?
That's the only fight out there for me, so. Yeah, I'm not fighting Terrence, so.
What's the 3, champ?
That's out the window. Yeah. I already told him, I say, nah, he's fast me, I'm not fighting him. There's no fight I want. I mean, that's the most money, that's the legacy fight. You know, that's...
So, in case you couldn't hear what he just said, because this is really, really rough audio. And guys, remember, this is the thing about this audio. It is a one-way audio. You don't hear who he's talking to. Now you got to ask yourself, who leaked the audio? Was it Errol Spence Jr. just recording himself and he leaked the audio to show that he still wanted to fight? Was it the person who they said is Steven Espinoza from Showtime that he was talking to? Was he the person that was recording his conversation with Earl and he leaked it? But it has to be either two parties, either Earl's side or whoever you're speaking to. That has not been confirmed. They did it. Real Talk says 3-fight deal for Adrian Broner. Isn't Earl fighting Thurman? Well, I talked about that a little bit. You're gonna hear it here, and let me keep playing. I'm gonna keep playing it for you. I'm glad you asked. No, I'm gonna let Earl answer it. But what Earl also just said in this conversation was, at this point in time, he said, "Listen, man, this is the biggest fight. This is the fight that I want. You know what I'm saying? This is for Undisputed. This is one to make the most money. He still wants to fight Terence Crawford at this point, and he's optimistic the fight can happen in January."
That's it right there. That really decides who's the best in boxing. Me and him.
He said because this fight will decide who's the best in boxing, him or Terence.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about Terence? Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I just say he just think he got a lot more quick.
Right now he's saying, I don't know. He said Errol Spence Jr. saying that, he said, Earl is saying that he don't know that Al Heyman said that Terence Crawford got a lot more questions, just like basically more questions than he ever would have asked Top Rank. What are those questions? We don't know. We just know that Al Heyman is stating that he is getting probably a lot more questions from Terence than he believed Terence would have asked Top Rank. But is Terence entitled to ask some questions since at this point we are assuming that he wasn't signed with nobody else, that he needs to know everything going on? You decide.
He got a lot more questions with him than he did with Bob. Yeah. He said he asked him, you asked Bob all these questions. Yeah.
Talking about Terence asking a lot of questions.
I mean, everybody expert on me. Got out of here. Correct. No, I just want...
Did you guys hear that correct? Somebody edited this. That did sound like Steven Espinoza for a little bit. Did you guys hear that? Correct. That sounded like him a little bit. Let me go back. Listen, guys, you can hear somebody say, correct. Well, you know what? I could be wrong. I'm going to say this. It wasn't an African American. I don't think it was an African American that said correct. But I could be wrong. Or correct.
No, I just want to get it done and then so everybody get off my back. I got the shit to get off my chest too, so. You got a lot of people like Mac the people in his ears, so. But he don't have no old Mac.
Rough audio.
But he don't have radio either. It's either me. I mean, he's not gonna pay and fight.
I'm about to find a clear copy.
Don't fight anybody else. Yeah.
Sound like Errol talking about fighting, like, option to fight somebody else.
Yeah, really, he just
Horrible audio.
I do know what he's doing. That's why I'm not worried about it. It's like,
Let me see. This is skipping.
okay.
All right. Listen, I'm going to cut this off. But I know there's a point in here where Al Heyman asked him, what about Keith Thurman? And Errol Spence Jr. says that he'd never fight Keith Thurman. No, I shut that down. So, back to Real Talk. So, this is what's happening right now, Real Talk. And let me look up. Because I'm... Steniosis, right? Steniosis. Oh, there we go. So, since Terence Crawford's pulled out, Bruce Ennis said, you know what? I'm going to pull my mandatory card. I want to fight Errol Spence Jr. next since he's not fighting Terence Crawford. So people are trying to say that, oh, Earl got to fight Boots. If he don't fight Boots, he ducking. If he drops the belt, he ducking, right? Now Steniosis comes out and he says, I think he went to WBA. Said, no, I want to fight him next. So now it looks like that Steniosis would have the first claim. Then maybe Boots Ennis. And then, this is really recently after them two been going, like, trying to fight for that position. WBC comes out like, wait a minute, calm down, right? Talking like the little kids, the other sanctioned bodies, saying Keith Thurman would be next. So it looks like the WBC is trying to push Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence Jr. Now, as far as I know, Errol Spence Jr. has not accepted this. Errol Spence Jr. said, even before they talked about Keith, that he might just move up to 154. If he moves up to 154, that means the 3 major belts that he has, because he has 3 of them, and Terence has the other 1. Those 3 belts will be like infinity stones, and they will get scattered. And at that point, I don't think we will see an undisputed champion, not at welterweight, for a long, long, long time. And when we do, I don't think it'll be Terence Crawford. Because if Terence Crawford has that 1 belt, at 35 going to 36 years old, and let's say Bruce Ennis gets 1, Steniosis gets 1, and Keith Thurman gets 1, you're going to have 4 champions with 1 belt apiece. I don't think we will see an undisputed for a long time. Now, they're going to talk about, once Ennis might say, I want to fight Steniosis next. Steniosis might say, I want to fight Ennis next. Something going to happen, they're going to fight different people. Keith Thurman going to be talking about, where that boy at? I ain't afraid to let this old go. He going to fight somebody. You might feel unification here and there, guys, but I'm telling you right now, if Earl drops some belts and move up to 154, you will not see a welterweight undisputed champion in a long time. But can you blame him? Since Terence Crawford obviously is not going to fight him, he's already signed to fight somebody else. We have no idea if they're going to pick up negotiations after this fight. Now, for the new company he signed with, BLK Prime, I think it would be a great idea for their company, after they get this 1 fight under their belt already for Terence, is to go directly at Errol Spence Jr. Assuming he didn't move up. Because if he doesn't move up, that means you're going to have this new company going to find themselves part of an undisputed matchup of the century. This is a win-win for a new company. And they should do everything possible to make that fight, assuming if. And that's a big if, because if was a fifth, we all be drawn. We all get DWIs. They should do it. Because there's no company come in just to pay these big ballers high money to fight no names. It's a losing war. The Zone came in to the USA shoving a lot of money out, and they didn't get enough big fights. Now, the one thing that I can say so far that BLK Prime is not doing, they're not coming in, it doesn't sound like trying to big dog everybody else. They're not coming in and says, I'm going to shut down pay-per-view. I'm going to just do this and do that. They're not saying that. As soon as they coming in like, shoot, let us get a little piece of this action. Alfonso says, I doubt PBC try to negotiate again with Bud alone. You know, and that could be a thing. Was this a bridge burning type of thing? It could be. Remember, think about it, they've been negotiating all this time just to find out that he signed with somebody else and find somebody else. Do PBC, do Al Heyman feel played? Do they feel that Terence Crawford was not operating in good faith? Real Talk says, I think Spence's team thought they could take advantage of Crawford financially because it appeared Crawford had no options left. Crawford simply showed them not to mess around next time, and they won't. Alfonso Morris says, what's Spence going to do? He got to fight Thurman or vacate. The fight loses a little steam without Undisputed. You make sense. Which is why, if Errol Spence Jr. does not fight Keith Thurman, and if it's truly a fight Keith Thurman or vacate type of situation, if Earl vacates the WBC, he will vacate them all. They'll be gone. He'll take each of them championship rings and throw them away. Because he feel that he worked to get all three of those. And to take one away. And guess what? Right? So if he doesn't fight Keith Thurman, he gets stripped there. Now what's going to happen? Now he's pressured to fight Boots Ennis. Right? Then Steniosis. He's going to have to fight one of them three lions. And the most dangerous one could be Boots Ennis. Boots could be the most dangerous one out of there. Real Talk's talking about, now when it comes to money, Real Talk, I don't know. From what I heard, some of it is hard to believe. Some of it I can believe. But because it's such a mixed bag, I don't know what's true or not. So one thing came out. They said that Terence Crawford agreed to 35%. You want to hear about some lies? Have you not heard at some point that, oh man, Terence Crawford signed off on his side, they wait for Errol Spence to sign off? Have you not heard that? Have you not heard that they said that that Terence Crawford has signed on everything, agreed to everything, and he's waiting for Errol Spence? Then come to find out, he mustn't sign on nothing. He mustn't sign anything. That had to be a lie. That had to be a lie. People lying for people, man. Listen, this whole thing is about making my boy looking good light. And it goes on both sides. They trying to make their boy looking good light. Like their dude wasn't the one that caused it. They said that Terence Crawford will offer no money up front, 35% split with no back end money. I swear to God, I don't know how you do that. So where does he get paid from? If he agreed to no upfront money and he gets no back end money, then what is the 35% split of? I don't believe that. Then they talk about that he was offered $5 million, $10 million, then $15 million. I don't know. But I know when Errol Spence Jr. said in this conversation, when Errol Spence Jr. said that Terence Crawford didn't trust his own lawyer, and he wanted to talk to Al Heyman directly. And when he's talked to Al Heyman directly, he just asking all type of questions that nobody would typically ask. There is so many questions that he don't believe that he's right asking this, that he like, there's no way he could have asked Bob Arum this. And whenever somebody asks, for me working in sales, when somebody get to asking all those questions, sometimes they're looking for a reason not to sign. They're not looking for a reason to sign, they're looking for a reason not to sign. He didn't trust his own lawyer. That's what Spence said. the outset in so many words. But if he got the same lawyer that did the deal with BLK Prime, I don't know. I don't know, man. Listen, you tell me. I don't know. Like I said, man. When it comes down to this fight, the reason that it's not happening, to me on the surface, I have to put more blame towards Terence. He left the negotiations. He was negotiating while still negotiating. Signed with a different promotional company. Already had another fight set before the other side knew anything. Now, again, you can look at it like, oh man, maybe they were lowballing him. Maybe, but we don't know that. Al Heyman is the only person that listen. Most fighters, not all, but most fighters say that they got their biggest payday with Al Heyman. I know a couple people right now that works with Al Heyman. A local boxer here. Can't think of my boy. Now I'm actually cool with him. I've seen him in the gym a few times. He's from Puerto Rican. And Devin Haney. Not Devin Haney, but why is it leaving me? Alexander. Why can't I think about his name? My brain is giving me Alexander Great. What's his name? Devin Alexander. Jesus Christ. And they all talk about how Heyman has done them great. But on the YouTube world, we seen them. Think about it. I don't think any promoter get as much dogging than black promoters by black people. Right? In my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that some of them shouldn't get it, but the other ones don't get it, not verbally, relentlessly going at them. You know, if it's blah, like, oh man, you know this blah, man, blah, blah, blah. That's it. But when it's Al Heyman, a person who you hear say less words than a mute, oh, he get dogged. He get put to the ringer. Well, he says, what's Spence gonna do? He got to fight Thurman vacate. Well, listen, man, we're going to find out. Listen. This whole thing has shifted, man. And like I said, I don't blame Errol Spence Jr. because I think he still won the fight. He even said in the interview that Al assured him that, hey, we're going to get the fight. To me, it sounds like that means Al is trying to make the fight for Errol. I just can't believe, you know, and remember, that's just me. And I could be wrong, just like you have an opinion on Al. I have an opinion from talking to people that I just can't believe that Al is just literally trying to F over Terence. It could be. I don't know. This could be the one where he was trying to say, we're going to lowball this dirt. But it could be. Right? I don't know. But I just can't see negotiation being that long, you know, of not trying, I just want to dog somebody. Eddie Hearn didn't get this much dogging when he offered Wilder a flat fee. A $12 million. Tell him that no matter what it grows, you're going to get 12% of whatever it grows, and we're going to get the other 88%. Like, and what did most people say? They didn't dog Eddie Hearn. They said Wilder should have took it. Right? They said Wilder should have took it to make Undisputed. But in this case, people were to blame Al Heyman. And I said Terence Crawford should have took it to make Undisputed. And listen, and I'm not saying it. If somebody is lowballing you, I don't believe you should take a lowball. I don't think so. I don't care who you are. So if Terence Crawford was getting lowballed, then I'm not with that. Because it still is the biggest fight. Terence Crawford was in a better position to fight a soft touch than Errol. Because Errol has some mandatories coming up. Terence just satisfies some mandatories. He just beat Sean Porter. So he has a free elective, right? It's like college. He got a free elective. You know, like, let me get Dan for 3 credits, right? He got a free elective. So he's fighting this. Avanesian guy, right? Whatever his name is, David something. He fighting David from David and Goliath. All right, that was the last time I thought he was seen. He was throwing a slingshot. Now he throwing punches. And he's fighting Terence on pay-per-view, and it's Terence's biggest payday. So if you Terence Crawford, you got to ask yourself, okay, do I continue on with the negotiations? It has been months, and I am not satisfied. I don't truly trust my lawyer because I want to think about this. He want to talk directly to Al Heyman because he didn't really trust what his lawyer was saying. But probably to the PBC, when they went over these same things with the lawyer like, okay, yeah, I think this sounds good. I think, yeah, you know what? I think it's going to work. So that's why Showtime and everybody said the fight's getting closer because they probably felt that what the lawyer was saying and nodding along, that is something that they would agree with. But when it got back to Terence Crawford, it could have been further from what they wanted to agree with. Then he had more questions and more questions and more questions. You have so many questions that everything gets confusing. And the more questions you ask, the further away from the fight you're going to be. Because now you got to get an answer for each question. And what is the answer? That's time. And some of them questions you can't predict until the fight is over. And then all of a sudden, a company that wants to get involved in boxing, and I don't blame them at all. They are an opportunist and took advantage of an opportunity. Why wouldn't you do it? Now, if Errol Spence Jr. moves up, then it doesn't pan out to be as big as if Errol Spence Jr. stayed at 147. Because if Errol moves up, they're probably never going to get an undisputed matchup with Terence Crawford. Matter of fact, if the other promotional companies don't want to play ball with BLK Prime, it can be very hard. Just like the Zone. But the Zone was able to do some deals and make some fights happen. But you're going to need Top Rank, PBC, Showtime. You're going to need these people to want to do business to even unify. Guys, what do you think, man? What do you think, man? Smash the like button, man. Man, listen, guys. I'm cooking while I'm cooking. Listen, guys. I'm working from home. And when I say I'm working, I'm working. It's tough. I got to have so much things buttoned up before the day and T's crossed and I's dotted. It is crazy. And the longer I do this video, the longer it puts me behind. So I stop working. I don't have time to prepare. My mind is the preparation. I have to go off the fly. I go live. And as soon as I end this, I'm back to cramming. So please smash the like button, subscribe to the sharing is caring. If you ain't, listen, I'm back at it like a crack at it, giving you boxing giggles this work. Guys, let me get back to what I know I gotta do. Right? This is not my 9 to 5. This is free. You know, you listen. My super chat must have been broke today. You ain't seen no colors, right? Listen, everybody used to like watch the magical rainbow. I ain't seen no colors, right? He says, I don't blame Crawford. It only could have been about money. Move on from months of sitting around as the B-side and being told he don't. Spence can make more without him. You doubt. Real talk. I can't unless I was inside. I agree that it was a money move. Remember, this same company went and got Adrian Broner, right? And I like Adrian. I'm going to cheer for Adrian. I like Adrian. They went and got Adrian Broner off the couch, man. Like, get up. Dust yourself off. 3-fight deal, right? Hey, that's good because from listening to Adrian Broner, the PBC didn't even have him a fight. He has nothing on the board, right? He's looking at a whiteboard with them erasable markers in his hands, but the board is still white. He has nothing coming up, right? Training with Cunningham. And all of a sudden, BLK come and give him what he wants. And he's back. You know, I want to cheer. I support Broner, you know. And I think, again, BLK, by them getting Terence Crawford, they could potentially be part of Undisputed. Because you have to say BLK Prime and PBC or Fox or whatever. You have to say them both. And in history books, it will have them both. But if if Errol Spence Jr. says, you know what, I'm not finna run no damn gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? Because I really feel Errol wanted to fight. I don't think Errol was trying to low dog anybody. You know, I think he really wanted to fight. Especially when negotiation is dragging out like this, I think he really wanted to fight. Numbers will really have to be revealed. They will really have to say, this is what we offered Terence, this is what he turned down. They have to say that. But then you look at Terence, you can be like, listen, man, I'm not happy. I'm asking all these questions because I feel you're hiding something from me. And I haven't fought since this long. And now this new company is saying they're going to pay me $10+ million to fight a kid in diapers? I'm going to take that. And after I beat that guy, we can pick back up. But it doesn't matter whose side you're on. Because the fact is that we lose as fans. So no matter who you sign for, if you ride with Terence Crawford, he's getting dull, he's getting financial beat up. I'm going to ride, I'm going to stump like I stumped for Trump. I'm going to stump for Crawford. Or you do the same thing for Spence, right? Spence was trying to make you fight. Crawford the one to pull it out. I'm going to stump for Spence. Hashtag man down. Can I get a hell yeah? Doesn't matter. As fans, we lose. You can justify on either side that you want. We lose. You gotta go watch Terence. Yeah, go ahead and get excited for Terence Crawford fighting God knows who. Go ahead. I'm not excited about it. I'm a Terence Crawford fan, and I picked Terence Crawford to this day to beat Spence by slimmers of margins. I would actually like to see Spence versus Thurman. Spence versus Boots. I don't care about Steniosis right now, but that's a tough fight as well. I'll actually like to see that. But he doesn't want to stick around and do it. Can I be mad that Spence don't stick around, get run through the gauntlet of 3 different people, and he decided to move to 154? Again, the fans are the one that's getting effed. We're the one that's getting no Vaseline. We're the one getting it, and it's like you justifying it. You letting your saliva provide lubrication by trying to justify why he did this, why he did that. You know what? I think I might be with the old time people now. Hell, I'd like to be back in the day when Sugar Ray. Imagine this. Imagine if Hagler, Leonard, Hitman, Duran. Imagine if these guys didn't fight each other. Not once. Ali, Frazier, Foreman, Norton, Spinks, Roy. Imagine. We would have only seen A sides fighting C sides. Boxing would have been dead long. You know what, man? Females doing better. Whatever. Females are doing better. We just saw Clarissa Shields undisputed in 3 weight classes in 13 fights. And we got people that fought 40 times or 30 times and can't get one. I'm out. Whatever. Enjoy it. Support whoever you support. And dog the other black man to support another black man, and we still not getting another